Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. So in today's adventure, we're going down to Dallas, Texas. I'm going there for one very specific reason, which I can't divulge just yet. However, my buddy Brett, who lives down there, who you've seen in previous videos, is going to be picking me up, and we're going to be cruising around, looking at some sights, getting some food, you know, all that. I figured it would just be kind of fun to have a nice little light adventure in between some of these European excursions we keep going on. But don't worry, you'll see Mrs. Koralik very soon. Your standard good morning at O'Hare. Fortunately, once again, don't have to stand in line for any of that. We're going over the clear lane. I don't know how you guys, if you've seen this channel before, do not know this routine yet, but sign up for Clear, sign up for TSA PreCheck, sign up for Global Entry. These are the most amazing travel perks you could possibly have. I love it. Okay, through security, no problems whatsoever, though I will admit there was a woman in front of me that did kind of bemuse me as she kept setting off a metal detector and kept insisting that her metal watch was definitely not responsible. Guess what? It was! Though I'm sure you guys know the routine at this point, we're going to take a left at the Dinosaur, head down to the Sea Concourse, and of course we are going to go to the United Club because we have about an hour to kill, and I want some free breakfast. So yes, I actually did get a bowl of oatmeal and raisins. I figured I should be a little bit healthy because I imagine later I'll be eating, you know, not so healthy. They have arrived in Dallas. We have about an hour to kill before Brett is available to get me. So fortunately, there is a United Club here, so we're going to go spend some time there. It is worth noting about this airport, by the way, that United has a very small presence here. This is American Airlines territory. This is their central hub. So chances are, if you're ever coming here, it's with them. All right, so Brett is almost here, which means it's time for me to go. So I left the United Club, had a nice little time there, had some food, not much, just had some oatmeal again, because healthy. You can thank Mrs. Koralik for that.
Hey, look who it is.
Yo, what's up?
Brett was cool enough to pick me up and begin our little adventure here in the hottest place in the universe.
Well, today is especially hot. It's supposed to get up to 108, which is hot even for us.
So it's Fahrenheit, so it's about 104 Fahrenheit right now. It is 41 Celsius to everyone else who knows the real system of measurement. Wow, why is it so hot here? What are you doing?
Well, it's hotter this summer than it's been in many, many years. This is an especially bad heat wave we're having. It's not usually this bad, but there are 2 months in Dallas-Fort Worth you don't want to be here, but you're here, so, you know, whatever.
A little warning. Next time, Brett, a little warning.
Brett, where are we at now?
We're at Babe's Chicken in Fort Worth, Texas. The best fried chicken I've ever had, and perhaps that you've ever had.
I actually completely agree. So this is kind of cheating because the last Dallas video we did, which was like 2 years ago, we actually came here and that's when I crowned it the best fried chicken I've ever had. I am choosing to relive this experience. We'll do more new things, I promise, but I had to do this. This is like half of why I came here.
Sides are phenomenal too. The mashed potatoes are off the charts. I don't know how you can even make mashed potatoes that good, but they're amazing.
You'll see. Also, if you ever come here and you decide the line isn't worth the wait, there's a Cane's next door. Why the hell you would do that, I don't know, but maybe you're an idiot. All right, so we just came out of Babe's Chicken. Absolutely lived up to the expectations. The memories was glorious. Look at all this food. Now, I was a good boy. I did not eat everything. You can see we've got...
We actually had some leftovers.
We did. There was some leftover chicken, I
Incredible.
swear. I only had 2 pieces. I was a good boy, I promise. I had my salad and I had all this other stuff. So we had mashed potatoes there. We had corn. What was the...
Green beans.
Green beans, thank you. I actually thought it was okra because I'm stupid.
I added a jalapeno on because
he
I
likes
like to have
that.
peppers with everything.
Yeah. What else was there? We had, obviously, the chicken.
Honey biscuits.
Honey biscuits. There was one, oh, the gravy. That's what I'm thinking of. There was also gravy on the table.
Very important.
So I didn't say this before. This is an interesting place because with the meat, the chicken, it's highly recommended you get the fried chicken. It's a place where there's only like technically what, like 3 options?
Yeah, there's chicken fried steak, fried chicken. Some locations have fish. Some locations have baked chicken. But you definitely want the fried chicken.
Just get the fried chicken. They don't even like have a menu because you're just expected to know.
Right.
So once you order it, a bunch of sides will come with it. It's important to note the sides are infinite.
Which is dangerous.
Oh, they'll bring you some of the best corn and the best mashed potatoes you've ever had.
And we finished our vegetables, but we did not order more after that.
We were very good.
So we can actually walk out of here.
Yeah, here's the thing. Despite the infinite sides thing, I'm proud to say, or embarrassed to say, we did not use it one time. Now, here's the interesting point, though. If you come here, you notice you got the leftover chicken, right?
right there. They don't let you take the sides home because theoretically somebody will be like, yeah, give me 100 of the sides, and then just, I want to take it all right now.
Right.
They'll let you take the meat home, but not the sides. So plan
All the
accordingly.
meats.
Plan accordingly. Plan accordingly. But this is absolutely recommended. 100% a staple of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
It's incredible.
Best fried chicken. I maintain that title.
So some of you older guys will remember, and gals will remember the old Wesson Oil commercials where the Brady Bunch mom did a fried chicken commercial and it looked like the most incredible fried chicken in the world. This is better.
That is a reference that you need to be at least 50 to get.
Yes.
Morning. It is day 2 here in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Realize we didn't show you a whole lot yesterday. That's fine. You'll handle it. We're gonna go show you something else right now that I think you guys will enjoy. A little bit of history, and you'll see in a second. It's probably pretty obvious what it is, but you can figure that out. Do you think they can guess what it is?
If they have any historical knowledge at all, even just the most basics.
Yeah, if you know anything about Dallas, you've probably heard of this. So here we are, guys. This is what I want to show you. This is, of course, the Texas School Book Depository, where Lee Harvey Oswald is alleged to have fired from that window to assassinate President Kennedy on this street here on Elm. This is marked with several spots to indicate where the shots were fired. There's 3 X's, 2 of which are very close together, and a third one that is further down. This is one of the most infamous locations in American history, and if you're ever in Dallas, it is an absolute must-see because it's like traveling through time, right, Brett? Like, this is just...
Absolutely, yeah. It's unfortunately, Dallas is most well known for the Kennedy assassination, but hey, you know, it is what it is, and it's what you do when you're here.
Right there where you see that X in the center, that's ultimately where the fatal head wound shot came into the president. It is also marks the 8th and thus far final time a president died in office. 4 presidents have died due to assassination, 4 have died due to natural causes. Right here is the final marking spot of where the president was finally ultimately hit in the head, and shortly after that was rushed over to Parkland Hospital and died. That motorcade route ran all the way through here, under the overpass, and onward. The Sega Pluto is now where Abraham Zapruder infamously stood when he filmed the Zapruder film depicting the Kennedy assassination. There you go. So we are now inside of the Texas School Book Depository, which is, of course, now a museum. So we're going to give you a little bit of a self-guided tour through here. There are certain parts of it that are obviously infamous, like the 6th floor window where Lee Harvey Oswald shot at, where they don't let you stand, but you can kind of see it, and we'll show you as much as we can.
For those kind of interested in Kennedy presidential history, this was the Kennedy family. Now, Joseph Kennedy was an ambassador to, I believe, England, and more importantly, he was actually grooming his eldest son, Joseph Jr., to be president of the United States, but he would ultimately die in World War II. So next up was John Kennedy, who did become president. Next in line would be Bobby Kennedy, who was running and then ultimately died via Sirhan. Ted Kennedy here was the last survivor. He, because of the Chappaquiddick incident, never ended up really having much of a chance. But he did run directly against Jimmy Carter, which was interesting. When you first enter the 6th floor museum, the very beginning of it is mostly everything leading up in the presidency of Kennedy, like his inauguration, his election campaign, obviously, his time in office, etc., a little bit of history about him. Then it jumps into the whole Texas trip and everything that would obviously occur. One thing that's very fascinating, in addition to all the weirdness that came out of November 22nd, 1963, is that 3 active U.S. presidents were all happened to be in Dallas that day. Obviously JFK, duh, and then right after that Lyndon Johnson, because, you know, he was inaugurated. But everybody forgets that morning Richard Nixon actually had woken up in the Baker Hotel in Dallas and had actually come into the city. He left around the same time as the assassination, which led to some additional conspiracy theories that the 2 men who profited the most from the assassination, Lyndon Johnson and Richard Nixon, who both became president basically as a result of it, were also there. Coincidences are not conspiracies, but they are fascinating. By the way, if you decide to come into the Texas School Book Depository, which is now a museum, you will also be greeted by one of the rarest things in the universe, a gift shop. Near all the JFK stuff, you'll actually also see this. This is the log cabin pioneers of Dallas County. Basically, this is just one of the earliest settlements in Dallas. Kind of unfortunately for you guys, all the other stuff that's kind of associated with Dallas is just overshadowed by the Kennedy stuff. But this is like, the Kennedy Memorial's right there, and this is Elm, right over there, the book depository, so you can easily get to this if you want to see it. Next to the Kennedy Memorial is this really neat looking courthouse, and that's of course right in on Dealey Plaza right there. Interestingly, this Dealey Plaza was named after George Bannerman Dealey, who died in 1946, which means he had no idea what tragedy his name would be associated with.
All right, it's food time. Where are we? What are we doing?
We're at Lockhart Smokehouse in Dallas, a certain part of Dallas called the Bishop Art District in Oak Cliff. And it's a real sort of hip and trendy part of town. But they have got Lockhart Barbecue, which my brother recommended. He's been here. I've never been. My brother is a foodie. He knows what he's talking about.
So we're hoping it's good. Otherwise, this is his brother's fault.
Oh, you know it'll be good.
I do, but I don't. Okay, we came out of there. What'd you think?
First time I've been to Lockhart Barbecue, and it was really, really good. It had a lot of the key elements of good barbecue. The sauce was good, and yes, it's not like steak. A good steak, you don't want steak sauce. That's sacrilege. But barbecue, one of the key elements of barbecue is a good sauce. They did have good sauce. It was tender barbecue with just a little fat on the trim, which is perfect. And it was very smoky, and that's the #1 key with barbecue. You want a smoky flavor, otherwise it's just some meat.
See, I can't really top that because he's the local, he's a big barbecue guy. It's interesting because he taught me something on this. I was always told that Texas style meant no barbecue. Like, you obviously, your barbecue sauce. You can certainly have it, but it's not true Texas style if you have it. Apparently, I'm completely wrong.
No, the sauce is very, very important with barbecue. It's the opposite of steak. Yeah. If you eat a really good steak, if you put sauce on it, it's an insult to the chef. It's stupid, and it doesn't taste as good as just pure steak. But barbecue sauce is key, is one of the keys.
So basically what we're saying is you don't have to kill your brother.
Right. My brother made a good suggestion. Lockhart, very good. I recommend it.
Yeah, I would sign off on it. Lockhart.
Yeah, and the sides were good too. The beans had brisket and onions in them, and we got some spicy mac and cheese. It was good.
I just had the regular mac and cheese. I thought it was quite good as well. They also offer you some free bread, which was nice. The thing with brisket that's really weird is you always look at it like, oh, that's not that much food. Trust me, it will fill you up a lot more than you think.
It's filling. And one other quick thing about barbecue in Texas, you're supposed to have like Orange Crush or Big Red especially, or a beer. They say it's sort of sacrilegious to have water with barbecue. I don't feel that way because I like the healthy aspects of water, and
meanwhile,
it tastes fine. Meanwhile, I've got Big Red, but hey, I'm a hypocrite.
Big Red is disgusting. It's bubblegum juice.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing. I like bubblegum. I don't want to drink it. Interesting to note, the Sega Pluto has now been where Lee Harvey Oswald once stood when he took those infamous photos of him with the pistol as well as the Carcano rifle. Yes, this is Lee Harvey Oswald's house, everybody. Good morning. It is day 3 here in Fort Worth, Texas. We're not in Dallas currently. What are we doing?
Okay, so we're at the Fort Worth Stockyards. This is a very key point from the 1800s on into the 1900s. The Fort Worth Stockyards were a stopping point for the famous Chisholm Trail cattle drive. So in South Texas, and these massive cattle drives would come up to the northern markets. And on the way, they would stop here in Fort Worth at the Stockyards, where the cowboys, the rustlers, the herdsmen, and all that could whore and eat and drink and rest and, you know, fight and kill, all that kind of stuff. But it was a great resting point for, you know, saloons and bars and all that kind of stuff, wild nightlife, speakeasies, you know, all this kind of stuff. So the cool thing about the Fort Worth Stockyards is a whole lot of the buildings remain intact. So it's like you're going into the holodeck on Star Trek, you know, and saying, you know, 1873, blah, 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 you know, and here you are. It's like a time warp.
So as we're walking around this area, you've got like steakhouses and stuff. This place smells incredible. It just smells like meat all the time. This is awesome.
There's great barbecue here, great steaks. And I mentioned earlier that cowboys, cattle drivers, etc., would come through and gamble and whore here. Obviously, these things were not legal, but, you know, back rooms, speakeasies, that kind of thing. So this place was just an amazing stop, and there was a lot of buying, selling, and trading of cattle here too. So it was definitely a key focal point along the Chisholm Trail.
So on this street, there's actually kind of a Hollywood Walk of Fame kind of clone. This one happens to be for John Wayne. As they say, everything is bigger in Texas, which would inevitably include the extremely large fat man that once wore this belt buckle. So this is my first impression of this whole area, is that it's obviously very touristy, very, very kitschy, very historic. A lot of cool stuff to see, but just, this is Time Machine, man. Like, you know, this is a Dr. Pepper store or something. Like, there's so much just randomness that just kind of comes up here. You have entire taxidermy stores of stuffed animals, general stores, just so much. Oh, that's cool. They have a bunch of sugars, like sodas. Like, wow, I said that like I've never had a soda before. Real sugar soda is what I'm trying to say. But a lot of things, yeah, trading posts.
the beef jerky experience.
Here we go, getting ready
Yeah.
for the shootout.
Yeah, there's people doing the setting up for the shootout thing later. Describing this place as touristy and kitschy would be kind of an understatement, and I mean that in a good way. This is definitely for tourists, but it's a cool thing for tourists because, you know, it's a fun thing to check out in the Fort Worth area, something that's uniquely Fort Worth and not Dallas, because the two, even though they're very linked together, they very much act like they're not. Kind of in the St. Paul, Minneapolis type of way. To the whole country, you're just Minneapolis. To the whole country, you're Dallas. At least Minneapolis, St. Paul gets the Twin Cities title. I feel like Dallas and Fort Worth just get lumped together as DFW, and that clearly bothers them. So, yeah, just keep an eye out. If you ever come to Dallas, head over to Fort Worth. It's got a lot of weird stuff, too. If you've ever been to Texas or have ever heard anything about Texas or know anything about Texas, Texas has a very pro-Texas attitude, but a very pro-Americana attitude, a very pro, don't tell me what I can and can't do type of attitude, which is interesting in a lot of different ways. But one of the results is there's a lot of stuff here you just won't see anywhere else. Like, look at some of this jerky we found, different animals you don't normally eat. They're like, whatever, we're going to do it. So the option exists to you. It's freedom of choice. That's kind of the whole attitude they're going for. And you know, you can argue if that's good or bad either way, but regardless, it is a thing in this state, in this area. It provides you the opportunity to pursue it if you wish. So you guys might know I find Big Red to be disgusting. This has to be even worse. Bazooka flavored, you know, gum has a soda here. That's gonna be bad. I take it back. I found something far more egregious and offensive than bubblegum flavored soda. Why does this exist? All right, bonus to Breaking Bad. They have an official soda, but I'm kind of betting it's not that great, but cool to see. So as mentioned before, Texas obviously very known for Dr. Pepper. Well, this store actually sells real sugar Dr. Pepper. Now, you had a real sugar Dr. Pepper before, dude?
I have.
Dude, that's, I would argue, it's possibly the best soda.
There's a Dr. Pepper museum 1.5 hours from here.
Waco?
Yes.
Waco, Texas. Yeah, if you've ever had a Dr. Pepper and you even remotely like it, trust me, get the real sugar one.
Pure cane sugar, no artificial sweeteners, got a little bite to it, the real deal.
The far superior version. It's wonderful. So I'm going to talk a little history of Fort Worth as we've determined. So you're seeing here a bunch of, you know, cows doing a cattle drive. This is a thing that this area of Fort Worth still does like twice a day. Regularly?
Yeah, it's the world's only twice daily cattle drive, and it's one of the few cattle drives because swine, but it does represent how Fort Worth was such an important location. Cattle would come up from the south and go on to northern locations for market, because in the south, cattle were worth about $4 a head.
Down in like San Antonio.
Insane, yeah. But up north and in Kansas and other places, cattle would bring you about $40 a head, 10 times as much. So it made sense to drive the cattle. And Fort Worth was just the perfect stopping point.
It was halfway.
To rest.
Yeah,
for the cattle to rest and for entertainment.
Yeah, so that was mostly, the city was founded on the fact that they once had to move cattle by foot because there was no other way to get them there. And people like money. That's a thing. It hasn't changed.
Indeed.
Brett, where are we at?
We're at the Fort Worth Water Gardens. Behind us, and what you've seen is the highlight of the water gardens, where you can go down below. Not only is it a cool spectacle, a great attraction for tourists, it is featured in a key scene in the 1976 sci-fi classic Logan's Run. Near the end of the movie, when they come up out of the underground, they come out upon the Fort Worth Water Gardens, which was supposed to look sci-fi, futuristic and everything. So there you go. Cool spot. There's a lot of there's like 3 or 4 or 5 other sections of the water gardens, but that's definitely the highlight.
Nature stuff. Mrs. Koralik will be very happy with me. Okay, we're hungry. It's food time. Where are we? What are we doing?
Time for some Tex-Mex. Being in Texas and all, we're at Chuys. It was formerly an Austin-based, well, it's an Austin-based restaurant, but they used to only have them in Austin, but now we have them in Fort Worth, Dallas. It's awesome.
So you're recommending this? You're signing off on it?
Yes, it's really, really tasty food. It's very flavorful, and it's hot and fresh, and I've never had a bad experience at Chuys.
All right, let's see if he's right, or if we have to string him up and hang him for this.
Get a rope.
Is that a thing? You guys still do that?
Yeah.
You guys just
No, we don't.
No, you don't do that?
No,
okay, that's good. That's good. It's safe down here, guys. You're good.
Right.
Except for the heat. Brett, our food has arrived, and it's a lot of food. Look at this.
Yes, it has. It's the Elvis Presley Memorial Combo, and it's definitely enough food for 2 full meals, which is great because enchiladas hold up very well. Chuys has the best salsa as far as if you like the homemade style. It's amazing. and it's just a great place to eat for sure.
So it's tacos and enchiladas.
Tacos and enchiladas, 3 different kinds of enchiladas, rice and beans. It's the full Tex-Mex experience for sure.
I'm hoping it's really good. I got it obviously the same, but I also got a ton of water. I'm healthy, I swear. Okay, we just came out of there. What did you think of your food?
It was excellent. Got the Elvis Presley Memorial Combo, which is 3 kinds of enchiladas, a taco, and other stuff. It was amazing. I ate almost all of it, which I usually save half of it for home, but you know, no, I ate it almost all. It was so good.
Dude, he's right. That place was fantastic. I really liked that. I got the exact same thing. I did not exactly come close to finishing it. It was more food than I anticipated. It looked good at the time. I was like, oh, 3 enchiladas, 2 tacos, a bunch of... Nope. Mrs. Koralik is killing me with all the salads. Now I'm starting to eat better.
I'm taller, so I can eat more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's no gut effect. That's definitely not a factor. But for real, though, if you're ever out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want to come out to Chuys,
great stuff.
Yeah, it's not chewy food, by the way. It's spelled differently in Spanish.
Good morning. It is day 4 here in Dallas, Texas. Now, I am actually very specifically back at DFW Airport. It is time to go home, so we're going to go inside, obviously use the clear lane, all that fun stuff, go through security, and get onward to our flight. Huge shout out to Brett, because he was a champ who woke up super early to drop me off here. Although, to be fair, he has to go to work right after this, and he works like 5 minutes away. But he's still a hero. Got through security, no problems whatsoever. Again, TSA pre-check, clear, no problems. It is worth noting, though, that I'm also in the E section of DFW, which is significant because the E section is very much the everybody that's not American Airlines section, which makes it much more efficient because American Airlines is terrible. Yes, I said it. I don't care who hears it. I'm going to say it quietly, though. No, but for real, I hate American Airlines, if that isn't clear over years of watching this. But the point is that they're more efficient in this part of the airport, and frankly, it's just smaller. There's much less demand. But don't forget that DFW is the central epicenter of American Airlines, so chances are you're not coming through this section with unless you're flying United or Delta or somebody like that.
But I actually have enough time to kill here, so I'm going to pop into the United Club for a few minutes, get a little quick breakfast before we go. Right now we've got eggs, we've got potatoes and sausage, we've got like French toast, we've got bagels, we've got things like that. But believe it or not, I'm actually going to do oatmeal because I feel like being quasi-healthy. I know, I'm changing, I'm growing up. But maybe I'll eat an egg or something.
All right, I'm officially back in Chicago, home. So uneventful flight, except for the very, very end when I was trying to get off. This guy in front of me was, it smelled horrible, and he did not speak English, and he was just kind of ranting, almost like you would see like a homeless person yelling, like when they're deranged, like at one of the United staff, and they have no idea how to react to this. And so eventually they had to kind of move him out of the way and let people off the plane. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, yeah, so it was a fun trip. Huge shout out to Brett for hanging with me, taking me around a bunch of places. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed this just kind of adventure to have an adventure. It was fun. But now I'm a little hungry, so since I'm here and I've got time, I'm going to go over to the United Club, get some lunch, and then head home. So thank you much to Brett again. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys could do me a favor, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you've never done that before, as well as check out all the social media stuff, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, etc. Appreciate all that, and see you all later.